For those of you who don't really want to watch the rest of this video and just want to get started, here's what you do. Download this app called Medito, that's spelled M-E-D-I-T-O. Then in the app, find the mindfulness challenge. It's a 30-day challenge in which you do about a 10-minute meditation every day while the app describes to you the process of meditation. You can go and do that and skip the rest of this video if you want. And if 10 minutes is too long for you right now, you can do the daily meditations instead, which you can choose the time length between 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, so on and so forth. A lot of people see meditation as this very mystical, spiritual thing that's meant to be done by monks in temples, when in reality, it's a very practical, science-based tool to exercise your mind. In this video, I want to explain the process of meditation in a very clear-cut, intuitive manner, and hopefully convince you to start doing it. Also, sorry for the background noise, the Stanley Cup finals are happening right now, so. There are several types of meditation, but I think the most common one and the most applicable one for a lot of people is called mindfulness meditation. A simple definition of mindfulness meditation is progressive overload for your focus. That's all it is. If I want to grow my bicep, what do? Well, that's very intuitive and straightforward. I provide a challenging stimulus to the muscle, and then my body will adapt in response to that. Your brain works the same way. This is a concept called neuroplasticity, which is essentially the idea that your brain can grow and adapt in response to a consistent stimulus. It's the exact same way that your body and your muscles will grow and adapt to a consistent stimulus. In this world, your attention creates money. Think about how any social media platform makes money from you. Think Instagram, think YouTube, where you are right now. On all these platforms, the primary goal is to hold your attention for as long as they can. That way, they can show you more ads and they can make you more inclined to keep coming back for more. And those ads are also companies trying to get your attention towards their products so that they might be able to convince you to purchase from them. Phone just ran out of storage. Also, the sun set, so I'm changing up the lighting a little bit. Now, we're humans. We get bored very easily. So what is the most profitable move for these social media platforms and for the content creators on those platforms to hold your attention? Make it quicker, make it more stimulating. Increase the amount of novel things per second. If they increase the rate at which you see exciting new things, then you're more likely to stay with them. And it's important to note that that's not always a malevolent thing, right? A lot of creators are doing that because they just want to keep their audiences entertained, and that's the best way to do it. The unfortunate side effect of everyone picking up on the idea that, oh, if we put more exciting things more rapidly in front of these people, they'll watch it more, is that now our lives are filled with that kind of content. So we watch this stuff a lot, and then neuroplasticity, our brains adapt to it. Or a better word would be that we get desensitized to it. So what do they do next? Make it quicker, make it shorter, make it more rapid. And that spirals down, and suddenly we have a whole population of people who require this rapid stimulus in order to feel at ease. Now, here's a really interesting experiment that you can do the next time you're in school, and there's a bunch of people who aren't being told to do anything, and they're just waiting for, let's say, the period to end. Take a second to look up, look around you at all your classmates. How many of them are on their phones? And chances are, in order to look up and look around yourself, you had to look up from your phone as well. Now, this isn't always true. Some schools are more strict about their phone policies and stuff. But if you're at a school that isn't very strict about your phone policies, I can almost guarantee that there's going to be a lot of people on their phones. This is a thing that I've been doing a lot recently. Well, not recently because we're on summer break. But basically, I'll take moments to look up, look around, and I'll see so many people on their phones. I think several times it's literally every single person in the class is on their phone. And what are they watching? It's probably Instagram Reels or TikTok. It's very quick content and it's just swipe. Swipe, swipe. And it's honestly kind of scary. Not just schools as well. Several situations where there's people who are waiting for something, waiting for a bus. They're almost always just hunched over on their phones. Now you might be saying, well, they're just waiting around. They don't have anything to be doing, so they might as well. What you don't understand is that every time you go on these platforms and you binge, you're decreasing your attention span. You're decreasing your capacity to live focused on reality, on the present moment. So the next time you're trying to get work done, or you're trying to pay attention in class, and your mind wanders off to some random place, just remember that that is because of the social media platforms. Meditation is an antidote to this. There's two things you need to do to meditate. One, pick an anchor point. The most common anchor point is the breath, because it's convenient. it's consistent, it's accessible because everyone breathes, hopefully. But really, your anchor point could be anything. You could meditate on the sensation of your shirt touching your skin. You can meditate on the sounds around you. Step 2 is to focus on it. Now, a lot of people get upset with meditation because they can't fully hone in their thoughts on that anchor point. But what they don't realize is that that's a crucial part of the meditation. Focus is cyclical. It starts from focusing on the anchor point, then your mind will inevitably drift. That's okay. That's a good thing. It's part of the meditation. Once your mind has drifted, a very important step can happen, which is where you realize that your mind has drifted and return your attention back to the anchor point. That is the actual strengthening of the brain there. So the mind wandering is a essential prerequisite to the part that's actually strengthening you. Your mind wandering during the meditation is as crucial as the eccentric of a bicep curl is before the contraction, right? The contraction is when you realize that your mind has wandered and you return your attention to the thing you're supposed to be focusing on. That is the skill that we're trying to build. In order for you to build that skill, your mind needs to wander first. So don't be afraid of your mind wandering. Accept it. Embrace it. Every time your mind wanders and you realize it, that is 1 rep for your brain. By meditating, you're essentially strengthening your grip on your mind's reins. You're training yourself to catch your mind before it wanders too far and setting it back on track very quickly, very efficiently, cleanly. The goal is that eventually this is just how your brain's going to work. You're going to always hone yourself in on your goal regularly, just automatically, autonomously, and then you've achieved presence. You also need to start reducing the amount of stimulus in your life. And sometimes it sucks to just be sitting in a spot, not doing anything, but really take advantage of those moments. In Deep Work by Cal Newport, which I'm rereading right now, fantastic book, he talks about taking advantage of these moments when you're waiting and you could be distracting yourself with your phone, but you choose not to and you choose to just stay in the moment. That capacity to be bored is very, very important to creating long-term good work that creates value to the world and brings fulfillment and happiness to you. There was one meditation session on Medito that had a really, really good quote. If you're living in the past, you're depressed. If you're living in the future, you're anxious. And if you're living in the present, you're happy. It was something like that. I might have misquoted it. But that's the general lines of it. By practicing meditation, we're practicing the skill of staying in this present moment without concerning ourselves with the things that happened in the past, without concerning ourselves with the things that happen in the future. Because those are both out of our control. If we can drop that, then we're left with nothing but the present moment. And that's a really valuable thing to have. And that will set you apart from a lot of people in this world. So that's why you should meditate. Download Medito and try to commit yourself to do it every day. I like to do it in the mornings. I think that I'm more consistent when I do these things in the mornings. I think that's all I have to say for today. Hopefully this video helped. Have a nice day, good night, whatever.